for another recap of The Bachelor. I don't know about you guys, but I am so tired of seeing all of Nick's waterworks. I like an emotional guy, but I feel like Nick is just auditioning for the world so he can get on the next big Hollywood movie. Anyone else feel me? All right, let's get started. All right, so if you guys remember correctly, we left off where Nick just decided to let the girls know that he let Danielle go and he wasn't really sure about what he was doing. I mean, I personally thought Nick was gonna leave the show. I thought he was gonna say, screw it, none of these girls are good for me. I need to go live my life. Bachelor's not gonna be it for me, and we'd be done. And actually, Nick was really insecure too. Nick told Chris Harrison that he wasn't sure if he wanted to quit or not. Here's the thing, Nick likes this attention. Like I said earlier, I feel like he's like auditioning for some big movie part right now. Does he want to find love? Probably. I don't know. Something tells me he loves it. He's not gonna quit. And nope, he's not leaving. He comes back and he lets the girls know that he had to let Danielle go because it brought up a lot of mixed feelings and just, I guess, some memories that he had had. But Nick does say that he is very excited about the girls left on the show and that he was so excited that he did not want to do a cocktail hour, nor did he want to do a rose ceremony. I mean, Nick, you're running out of girls here. Like, yes, cut that rose ceremony, please. The girls pack up their stuff and they are off to Bimini. So the first one-on-one date goes to Vanessa, which completely just makes Corrine crazy. I get it. Corrine is the only chick that hasn't had a one-on-one date, and here Vanessa is getting her second one-on-one date. I'd be pretty pissed too. Corrine doesn't think Vanessa has any depth to her. Nor do I think Corrine does, but, you know, that's besides the point. Vanessa goes on this one-on-one date with Nick, and I just think that there's something about Nick and Vanessa that he doesn't have with any of these other girls. All I can see, though, is that she challenges him, and he doesn't get mad. She will let Nick know when she's pissed off, when she's upset. Whatever's going on in the house, she doesn't hold back from telling Nick, and Nick is really open to listening to it. Nick tells Vanessa that he already knows how great she is, and that he just wants to make sure that she doesn't go anywhere, that he doesn't lose her. All right, can we just fast forward? Can he just pick Vanessa already? I'm not seeing that connection between him and anyone else. I do have my other favorites, but I don't see Nick on the same level with anyone else. On their date, they jump in the water, they start making out, they have these really sweet romantic moments. They've got something. They've totally got something that none of these other chicks have. She tells us that she wants to let Nick know that she's falling in love with him, but I think she's scared just because she sees that Corrine is still there. She doesn't understand why Corinne's there, so she's hesitant about sharing her feelings with Nick. However, she does know that she's got to do something because Nick wants someone that can open up to him. So she has the courage to let Nick know at dinner that she is feeling something for Nick that she hasn't felt in a really long time. She starts to get very emotional and she lets him know that she's falling in love with him. Now, if she had watched the show last year, she would know that Ben really messed up and told two girls that he loved them back and then stuck his foot in his mouth because JoJo was fucking pissed. I mean, I get it. So was Nick really gonna say that he loved Vanessa back unless he was gonna just stop the show and say, hey, you and me, let's go? No. And so she was really upset because she felt like she didn't get the answer, the response that she was hoping for. Nick just said that, you know, he couldn't say he loved her back because he wants to make sure that it's just him and her. Doesn't want to basically make the same mistake that Ben made. He didn't say that, but you know what? I get it. I know you're trying to save yourself right now. As for the group date, the girls that are going with Nick are Corrine, Christina, and Raven. Now they all go on a yacht where Corrine makes sure she lets us know that she's been on a bigger yacht than this. Oh my God, you are so pretentious. No one gives a that you've been on a bigger yacht. You are just like the rest of us, girl. Corrine, of course, tries to make a little like seductive thing going on when she's trying to take off her clothes because she wants Nick's attention that way. She's just that way. Christina says she always feels uncomfortable around Corrine. However, Nick is giving Christina a lot of attention to the extent that Corrine feels like she's just a third wheel. She feels like she's on Christina's date. She doesn't feel like she's making any progress here. She's really stressed out. She's really nervous. She thinks she's gonna go home. She's panicking. She's having so much anxiety over Nick right now. Nick breaks the news that they are going to swim with sharks. And I don't know about you guys, but I would feel very much like Corrine and Christina right now because I would be shitting my pants. That sounds terrifying. Sounds fun. Sounds terrifying though at the same time. Raven though is just down. I mean, okay, that girl, yes, she's down. She said that she would like punch a shark in the face. I don't put anything past Raven. Raven tried to attack her ex-boyfriend with a heel. That girl, I think she could take care of that shark. So they go in the ocean. Christina isn't having it. She comes out of the boat. She's crying. Corrine's not very happy about Christina's move. She feels like Christina's just trying to steal the spotlight right now. Nick pulls Christina aside and is very emotional, explains why he had to let Danielle go, said that it felt very forced with Danielle. The only thing I feel like is forced is you're crying right now. I'm over it. He then pulls Raven aside and asks Raven if she is nervous about hometowns being next week. I cannot believe hometowns are already next week. Where did the season go? Raven says that she's not nervous. She has had a lot of things that have happened, and here she opens up and lets us know and lets Nick know that her dad was recently diagnosed with lung cancer. There's been some heavy stories this season. It's then time for Nick to talk to Corrine. Corrine lets Nick know that she feels really insecure. She hasn't had a one-on-one and she doesn't know how Nick is feeling. She feels jealous that she hasn't had that time with Nick that the other girls have had. He says though that it doesn't matter, that she's obviously still there for a reason, and that makes Corrine feel good. Honestly, we get it, Nick. You want to sleep with Corrine. Is Nick gonna keep Corrine around until the fantasy suite? What do you guys think? Can we take a poll? Can you guys let me know down below in the comment section if you think Corrine is gonna make it to Fantasy Suite and then be dumped? Do we think that, or do you think he's gonna get rid of her next week? I wanna hear your guys' thoughts. Yet, even though he lets Corrine know that there is something about her, he decides to give the rose to Raven. So the next one-on-one date is with Danielle. Now, originally, I feel like earlier in my recaps, I said I really liked Danielle and I felt like she was gonna go far. Oh my gosh. During this date, I couldn't have cringed more. I don't think that either one of them are boring. However, the two together combined make the world's most boring couple. They went around town and really there was nothing in between them. I felt like they were friends. I feel like they were pen pals, and I feel like pen pals have more to talk about than they did. There is no connection between Nick and Danielle. I felt like he probably could have cut that date short and been like, hey, I care about you. I think you're a great girl, but there is nothing here and I don't want to waste your time. However, he didn't. He did keep her around. He takes her to dinner where she opens up. It's like, Nick, you should have cut this short before she opened up again. She opens up and says that she was excited about hometowns because she hadn't brought a guy home since her last fiance. And if you guys remember, her last fiance died. She says though that she's feeling something for Nick that she hasn't felt in such a long time. I hated hearing it because I knew, you could see on Nick's face that he just wasn't feeling Danielle. He does let her know though shortly after that he is just not feeling it, that she's such a good girl, but something is not there. If she didn't get that hint from that day, then that girl is completely oblivious, because a complete stranger on the street would know there is no connection between them. Poor Danielle seems to be really hurt by this, and she says that she just wasn't good enough for Nick. She goes back to the girls and she's bawling her eyes out. That was not an easy let go. So now it is nighttime and Nick is back in his room, and what do you know? Sneaky little Corrine decides to go and get ready and go to Nick's room because she's going to have some one-on-one time with Nick. It's late at night. We know what you want, girl. We're not stupid here. She knocks on Nick's door. Nick seems to be a little surprised, does let her in though. She's sitting on the couch with him, they're flirty, they're touching each other. They decide to pop open a bottle of champagne, and as we all know, Corrine loves her champagne. They go into the bedroom. Nick supposedly stops it though. He says that it's not fair to the other girls. He did this with Caitlin and he can't do this with anyone else. So he turns her down. Corrine, shot down again. She leaves the room and says this completely backfired on her, and now she's really insecure about where she stands with Nick. So the last one-on-one date is with Rachel, and I feel like this date was extremely short. They go to a bar, they're drinking some beer, they're getting to know each other a little bit more, they're talking about families, they're talking about if she were to be on a hometown date, what would it be like? Nick gets to know a little bit about her family. Her dad is ultra traditional. That's what I'm trying to say. They seem to have a really good connection. I like the two of them. I feel like Rachel brings a fun, silly side out of Nick. I don't really see Nick too emotional, bawling his eyes out with Rachel. I think she's very upbeat and peppy, and it's a good side of Nick that we see when he's around her. So Rachel comes back, lets the girls know that she had such a good date with Nick. Corrine says that she's gonna be sick. That girl is really terrified she's going home. All of a sudden, Nick shows up and Nick says that he needs to talk to Christina. He doesn't feel like he is in love with her. He loves her, but he's not in love with her, which was so weird and just not expected because he had just had an amazing one-on-one date with Christina last episode, and he had a great group date with Christina this past episode. Where did that come from? I don't get it. I find it really surprising, and obviously Christina did too because she said she was not given a fair chance. She didn't understand. She's upset. Rightfully so. Nick, of course, is super emotional. He's saying that he's not really ready to let her go, but he needs to let her go. Stop playing games. Just let her go. You obviously don't like her that much. Christina goes home, and now all the girls are super insecure. So many girls have gone home. Like, he is not even waiting for rose ceremonies anymore. He's just like, nope, 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 nope. You guys are all gone. Nick, jeez. I just want to know if he is going to keep Corrine until Fantasy Suites. That's all. That's what I care about because I feel like he's going to, and then he's going to dump her right after. Also, I don't want this to be a spoiler alert, but it's already announced all over. But basically, we already know who the new Bachelorette is. And why would they tell us right now when she is still on this season? Although I'm not complaining because I really like her, but still, we know she's gone now too. So that is it for this week's recap. I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know down below what you guys think about this week's episode. Let me know what you think about Christina going home. Let me know what you think about Danielle going home. Let me know if you guys also think that Nick is going to keep Corrine to the Fantasy Suite date night just so that, you know, I love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Thank you guys so much again for watching, and if you guys are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to my channel. It's gonna be somewhere down here. Also, make sure you share this video with all of your fellow Bachelor, Bachelorette fans, and I will see you guys all next week. Bye!